watching. A prospector stands frozen. His back hits the ground. His eyes go wide. In the shadows of British Columbia, the word Sasquatch comes from the Halkomelem Salish people of coastal British Columbia. Their word, Sasquatch, meaning wild men. Describes beings known long before settlers arrived. These were not campfire stories.
Albert Ostman had come to Toba Inlet alone, prospecting for gold, living off the land. But each morning, his supplies were disturbed. Something had been rifling through his camp. Then one night, a sudden weight. The ground shook, and the world went upside down. He was lifted, sleeping bag and all, carried like a sack of flour through the black forest. For what felt like hours, he was carried, unable to move, unable to call for help. And then, silence. The bag opened, and Albert Ostman found himself staring at a family of
A massive old male, a female, and 2 young ones, a boy and a girl, a family. The old male stood 8 feet tall. He didn't roar, he didn't charge, he simply watched. The young female was curious. She touched his clothes, sniffed his back, like a child discovering something new. They fed him roots, grass, sweet-tasting nuts. They weren't threatening him, they were hosting him. But make no mistake, he was a prisoner. The valley had no exit. The old male. For 6 days, Albert lived among them, observing, planning, waiting for his one chance to escape. Then he remembered something in his pack, a tin of snuffed tobacco, and a very desperate plan formed. He offered the old male a taste, and the creature, trusting and curious, accepted. The creature swallowed the entire tin, then tumbled over, gasping, lurching toward the water stream. The female rushed to help, and in that single moment of chaos, Albert ran. He clawed his way up the cliff wall. A howl split the air behind him. He did not look back. He ran for hours before he hit a logging road. And when he finally looked back, the forest was...
But here is what Western stories often miss. First Nations peoples have never seen Sasquatch as a monster. To many nations, Sasquatch is a spiritual guardian, a teacher who walks between the human and natural worlds. Encounters are treated as meaningful, sometimes as warnings, sometimes as blessings from the land itself. Not a beast to be hunted, not a freak of nature, but a being that commands respect. Perhaps the question was never, does it exist? Perhaps it was, what does its existence?
Albert Ostman kept his story secret for 33 years, afraid no one would believe him. And maybe they shouldn't. But you have to ask yourself, what part of his story feels impossible? And what part feels uncomfortably real? Drop your answer in the comments. And if this story got under your skin, good. It should. Subscribe if you want more stories like this, where the legend and the truth refuse to stay